window in Hillary's face, and we can see this. We can go.
Oh yeah, of course, but it ain't gonna be Hillary though. Hillary is like any politician. It's like choosing the worst, the best of two evils. Right now, we got a choice to choose the best of two evils. Right now, I would
have to be that way. We need to cancel this whole left right.
But they ain't gonna do that. They ain't gonna do that because it's if you watch the Declaration of Independence and all these documents signed, it'll never change. It'll never change. It should. It should, but it'll never change. But the problem with Trump and Clinton is that and everybody around the country, around the world is so worried about this because they know if this fool, how in the hell you gonna give a guy like Trump the keys to the nuclear code?
I'd be more worried about Hillary.
No, I wouldn't.
Really. Watch this. Absolutely.
No,
absolutely.
But I'm saying she ain't gonna use it.
Remember I said this. I read everything that's been going down with Libya and Iraq and all those places. She would be harder and quicker to go into Iran because she part of the whole.
I'm not saying the war. I'm saying the nuclear weapons. I'm saying the reason I know that she always had her hands on the nuclear codes. Ever since
she never had the option.
Trust me,
this is what we gonna do.
But I'm saying, but she always had her hands on the nuclear code because she sleep right next to the guy that had the nuclear code. He talks to his sleep. He knows everything. All she got to do is get down there and suck. All she got to do is get out there and suck on his name.
You know she ain't doing that.
Oh yeah, she is. She did it early. My point to it is that she already know all this shit. Yeah, but I hear what you're saying. But no, whatever you do, brother.
You have to go progressive.
Yeah, but whatever you do, don't ever think this is the worst thing that could possibly happen for the United States. You're talking about race riots and
That's gonna happen anyway. Only this immediate problem.
No, I'm not.
It's not even about Trump. They're using those things and building up. They do want to.
I hear you. But that's what he's setting it up for. Because if you look at the two conventions,
it ain't necessarily him.
Trust me, it's him. Everything about it is him. Look at the two conventions. It's so stark, so necessary. You look at that one convention, man, and you look at the faces on all those individual devils on that side. And what I mean by when you look at the faces, every one of them in there was what they were. Right. Now, when you look at the faces on the other side, it's everything. So how can you, as one individual, know that this guy is preaching this with all these guys? That's how you think he'll get in. The problem that he has is that he has alienated so many individuals that he'll lose probably. He done put states in the play that shouldn't even be in the play.
Here's why his audience looked the way it is.
All right, they say no mystery.
Because he's a Republican. The Republican base has always been white.
No. They different now.
They're going to always have that.
But they different now because
even when Herman Cain was running, it was just kind of like he had a lot of good stuff, but his audience was still all white.
But your point, I'm not saying this about the audience. I'm saying how he didn't guide it. The 2, the 3, the 4, the 5 main people in the Cain, in terms of being now, they realize, they sit back and saying, whoa, what are we doing? That's why you hear all these white folks that was Republican, the ones that said we stand away. Because they not gonna get caught because they know this stuff gonna explode.
But a lot of when they coming in, they actually bring more people.
But they bring it. I'm talking about all the individuals that's the establishment of the public. Don't let them think. Don't let this fool you. All these old ex-presidents, all the right. These individuals are staying so far away because of the fact they know this situation for the blow.
Or maybe they're staying away because he don't represent the rest of the establishment figure that the Republicans are. Everything he's saying is actually on the outside of the Republicans.
That's what they're trying to make you believe. But he's fringe. Ain't nothing new about Trump. Trump was the same guy. Trump was the same guy when that World Trade Center fell down, and when everybody else was sitting up here talking about this money. He didn't go out and fight for it and ask for it, but when it became available, he said, "I want $150,000 for one of my." Now, which one of these towers was his business?
Because he's a business.
But what? No, that's
not insurance. That's what he's supposed to do. That's Trump.
He should have been shot in the head because you couldn't do it. You couldn't go in there and say, even though when you had it, he took businesses. He took that money away from small businesses that was in New York. Yeah. That's what's so sad about it.
I ain't saying his practices ain't shady, but that's who
ain't shady.
He's on that level.
Everything about this guy is demonic. Now don't get me wrong. Hillary got a lot of demonic. Hillary got a lot of demonic. Don't get me.
Hillary is the devil.
But no. But the devil is
the devil's a lie.
The devil is either one of these individuals. It's like you choosing the worst of the best of two evils. And right now, for me to know that what's here at stake right now, the best of two evils for me is Hillary Clinton.
This house
because she can be controlled.
She gonna get in anyway, but it's gonna be because she stole it. It's gonna be
stolen. It's gonna be because of votes. Don't get it twisted. That's what Bernie Sanders thought. But it wasn't about stealing the people. She had more votes than.
It's gonna be like Bush in Florida or Florida.
No, they ain't gonna be that close.
How Jeb took it?
It ain't gonna be that close.
If it ain't close,
man, it's gonna be a blowout. It's gonna be a blowout so crazy as shit. He might not win. He might win just the southern states.
It won't be a blowout in the Democratic
Hello.
Their field.
Who? Hello? Yes, ma'am.
I'm just really gonna say, I'm just living that.
Hey, Ann, how are you?
Oh my God, I'm
I'm doing great. I tried calling you back yesterday. I wasn't able to get in touch with the guy, but I did email his sister. And I told her, she responded back and said she was going to definitely reach out to him. I left your number to the office there and the information, plus I gave him the cell phone number of my contact. The guy that works, that comes out and so what we're trying to do right now is try to see if we can put this fire out. If not, I want to have to, next time we talk, I'll give you something a little bit more direct where you can have some individual information.
I'll do that for you. I'll do that for you again. You said, I'll do that for you again. That's that for you.
I'm not doing that.
No.
I do understand.
Yeah.
But it's I do understand.
I agree.
Well, hey, I totally understand, but like I said, trying to get blood from a turnip is going to be interesting anywhere you go. I'm trying to see if I can get you your money.
What's the other place you were the other day?
Okay, I'm clear. I'm Crystal.
Other day?
Thank you.
You talking about yesterday?
Yeah. Other than what we did at that spot, did you do nothing somewhere else?
No, we was working on that one the whole day.
Okay, yeah, so that's it.
But,
So
that's
she's saying 40 on Sam, you know what I'm saying? For him to, just for, you know, what he did in the background too. Because he cut the back, and he also did the other stuff. And then the other spot on Murray Hill, cutting that whole driveway. You got the pictures on it? Just so you can see what it was.
I gotta go to different accounts.
That's what you was talking about.
All the stuff that's on the house and the driveway where the car can go back. We didn't get a chance to stick that dirt back in there around there.
Nah, nobody had a shovel.
Okay.
So we'll have to come back
Let's
to
get the check, yeah. We'll just try to see like a country down and go over there and do that other stuff. That's a lot of work.
So is Bernie your man from the beginning?
No, not at all. I mean, to be absolutely honest,
Is it?
to be absolutely honest, I know, you know, from day one, it's about choosing the best of two evils. I have to go where my thought and looking at everybody else that I believe in and where they're going. You know, I don't know Hillary personally, but I know that she's been around for a long time, and I know she's a snake. She's about as big as, but Donald Trump is the worst kind of bloodsucker I ever seen. Donald Trump is the kind of guy I grew up with, and that's why my uncle on the other side. Donald Trump is that kind of guy. Everything that comes out of his mouth, how he responds, how he do certain things, I know his character. And this guy is everything about the guy. And what I mean by that is that he's not for nobody but Trump. When you get an individual that's trying to run a country, and you sit up and saying, I'm going to do this. When a person put that individual, I can do this, I can do that, knowing that it's going to be impossible to run a country by yourself. You're going to need everything around you. That's when you worry about it. That's when a guy think he's more powerful than God. When you say I. The only person that should say I that I ever known about should be God. Because and God symbolized all of us. He's the only one that I can just point my finger at and say that's the power. I can't point my finger at Donald Trump and say he's the power. I can't point it at Hillary Clinton. But I'm just saying I can't point my finger at him. He reminds me of an uncle that I had, man, that sent so many people to jail. Family members that did so many right things, that taught us every right trick in the book. I seen guys like Donald all my life. And I know Donald's character, he should have been shot in the head a long time ago. And now he got Secret Service. It's a bad situation, brother. I'm just saying, if he get in there, the worst thing that can happen to this earth is that it may blow up with this food, because he doesn't have the kind of fortitude to think things through like Obama do. Obama's one of those thinkers. He didn't taught Hillary Clinton how to be a thinker.
Keep this in mind, though, like we said. There's no I, there's a we. Not any one person runs the country. So you can't expect that one person, good or bad, is going to make or break the whole plan.
Okay.
He
got his hands on the nuclear code.
But he don't alone make the decisions to just blow up a whole other
Yes,
country.
he has his hands. This is what I'm saying.
He has access too.
No. You have to understand. You have to understand the power. You have to understand the power that they give the president of the United States.
Yeah, he has an executive order.
No. You have to understand the power that they give the president of the United States. He has his fingers on the nuclear code.
Anybody who sits in that seat has access.
No, he has his fingers on it. This guy that walks around the football. This guy that walks around the football all the time. The guy. Every time you go, he's always right there. He has his fingers. This bag is sitting right next to his bed when he down there asleep.
Now think about this. So if you got a businessman who wants to make as much money as possible.
Who? Oh, come on, business. Look, brother, I hear you, man, loud and clear. And I feel what your spirit is, and don't get me wrong.
But you ain't hear the sentences.
Okay, let me hear the sentence. Okay, I gotta hear the sentence.
You got somebody who's maybe he's all about self and he's focused on money. He's talking about he's got those relationships, now he's doing some stuff with Russell. You think maybe he might want to expand his brain and get in other places?
Hell no, he already there.
Hold on. So it's about more reach and influence. Or you got somebody who's like, Hillary's thing ain't really about business, it ain't about money, it ain't about clout, it's about power. I'd be more concerned with somebody who wants more and more power having access to kill other places than somebody who just was consumed with their own greed.
Well, it's about what you surround yourself around. The thing that makes me so thankful about that is that she got her husband sitting right there.
He ain't nobody. He ain't never been nobody.
Who?
But when you want to talk about who they surround,
Bill?
Who does Trump?
Bill been about one of the best presidents we've had in the last 50 years.
But you talking about who
besides Obama
surround themselves with? That's one person. Yeah, she's married, so that's one thing. But what's the rest of her circle?
The rest of her circle gonna be what you see around Obama. That's the rest of her circle. You're gonna see John Kerry. You're going to see all these individuals.
Yeah, the people on the Facebook. And even if we're not going to go another level, you're talking about John Kerry, all the people that's on the surface.
That's powerful, man.
Yeah, but think about what those, all the same agendas that's being pushed since Bush, since Obama, since Clinton. It's the same dynasty going.
But we're going in the right direction.
Are we though?
Oh, of course.
Are we though?
Look,
then why is the biggest message of make America great again, let's bring change? We don't have to agree with it, but why do so many people feel like, yeah,
it ain't so many, but it ain't that many people. See what you're saying?
But he's blowing all the records apart. He blew everybody.
But he blowing my point is he blowing a Republican. See, when you look at the primary and you got 16 people running, and the average amount of votes that this guy gets is 34%. The reason he gets 34% is because they split the vote between everybody else. Now when it comes down to a big national election, and it starts off from scratch, it ain't gonna be the blow. And you'll see after this convention, it's gonna show you something that's gonna be so clear. And I can probably mark my word on this. Right now, they're head and head, and the Trump got a little bit of a bump. But after this convention, and when you go back next week, and I'm not even talking about the polls, because I don't even believe it. I believe in that right now. I don't believe that as far as I can go. But no, and they don't. It's the polls. They literally calling 100 people. They're not calling 1,000,000 people. They calling 1,000 people and interviewing 1,000 people. And out of that 1,000 people is how they get their numbers. It's ridiculous.
Right.
You know, it's ridiculous.
That's not even an accurate count then.
But here goes the exciting part about the whole setup. Right now, when the election take place that day, the Democrats automatically are going to start with 230 or 220 something votes for the electoral votes. The Republican automatically starts with 160. All the Democrat has to do is win one state out of 8, and they're going to get the election. That's how it starts. Now, what they're trying to do is put these other states in play. Let me tell you about the other 5 states that came in play because of that red states. You got Atlanta, Georgia. You have Atlanta, Georgia, and we've seen it changing. It's always been red, but then it started turning color because it's been unbalanced. Yeah. There's so many people that feel so uncomfortable. There's a lot of people that Trump gonna have because they're gonna be Republicans. He's gonna draw a few new people out of there, but it's gonna be so impossible for him to beat the alignment that they're gonna throw in because no matter what comes out on Hillary, she can come out right now. They can show all kinds of stuff. The problem is that they're not gonna vote for Donald Trump. He's gonna get his votes from his people.
But this is what I say in the beginning, that it's almost geared to be a setup. When it was burning, when everybody was all out there, when it was all fresh and new, and you didn't know who was going to be what, I'm saying the whole setup looks like it's geared to be where Trump's going to say all the crazy stuff. He's going to get the most attention. It's going to end up being, hold on. It's going to look as if he's going to be the nominee, which now he is, so that's turned out to be the case. And people in the end who don't like Hillary, they're going to feel like, they're going to say exactly what you're saying now. That's what, remember what I said earlier? Yeah. That's going to be the worst of 2 evils. They're going to feel like,
oh, of course.
They're going to feel like, well, we can't have somebody like Trump, so we got to pick Hillary. So
and that's what a lot of people are leaning on the fence with now.
So you had to have a big push behind Trump to knock out any other likely real candidates that were Republicans that actually could have been a decent choice.
Neither one of them. Right now, everything that they had running could not touch it. They would even put the Rubio boy that they would call because he was Hispanic. But my point is he was Hispanic. He could have split their vote. Now all they need to do is get 37% or 40% of the Hispanic vote and they in. See, the problem is,
But A, they weren't gonna go with that because Rubio was obvious that he was a robot. They broke that apart real quick.
but my point is, he was saying thing with Dick Cruz, another Hispanic.
But nobody trusted him anyway.
But
There's a certain basic underground.
They don't really trust Trump. That's what I'm saying. That's what's so crazy.
People do. That's people only feel they got some kind of trust for him because he don't talk like a politician.
Well, that's what they keep saying.
You ain't been sold and told. And
He sound like an idiot to me. Every time this boy open his mouth.
But it's off the top. Everybody says some stupid.
But no. But you can't kick off the top. Sooner or later,
He
you
keep
gotta
doing it. He stay off the top.
But that's why this
Trump's a
brother.
master freestyler.
Yeah, he really is. But he's an
And he
entertainer.
make it make sense. And people just want to be entertained.
But he's making, and you hit it right on the point. He's
That's all
making it
he
make
wants.
sense to some of the
He
people.
just wanna be
But the
entertained.
masses of you, when you start talking
That's
about,
the sad part.
but when you start talking about 100 million,
Yeah,
but when you
that's
start,
all they want.
but here go the
They
key.
wanna be entertained.
But when you start talking about 100 million people voting in the election, he only got 16 million breaking the ceiling from the Republicans from where he was at in terms of the voting that's there. When you say the deck is stacked, when they get to that electoral college, every Republican gonna be at a disadvantage from this point because of the fact that's why Obama won 2 terms. That's why Clinton won 2 terms. In between, they stole that first election and it made it easy after the war was there for the second one to do. It was simple. But it's gonna be very difficult for them to break that electoral college. He's gonna lose, but they keep talking about how close Pennsylvania is because all those blue devils gonna go against the grain. What's gonna beat Trump? It's all these suburban white women. They are not going to vote for a man that don't believe in their rights. And that's why Hillary's going to blow this thing so far open, because so many people going to want to see a woman as president. All the women got us outnumbered 60 to 40.
They want that because they want to buy it.
But she's the most qualified candidate right now.
Actually, all the way against the things that they want.
No, that's what they're trying to make you believe. Wait, but
take her history.
I don't have to. That's what I'm saying. That's why I know her history. The only history she has that's a little bit different is that she likes the idea of being able to go into certain country, like she messed up in Libya, to try to take over certain countries because of the currency. Because we talked about this once before. I get this. I get it wholeheartedly. But
That's fine.
what's going on, man? Where you come from? Where you come from? You was with y'all all the time? Oh, okay. Sam! I just feel it's going to be an impossible situation that's going to go down. And what might end up happening, the frightening part about it, even though he's running for president, if they find any kind of connections with this Russia thing, you talking about a conspiracy? You talking about a person getting arrested? This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. If they find out,
She's involved in way more conspiracy.
no, but this is but it's
Her whole history is conspiracy.
but that's what they make you think. But they're gonna shock us. The conspiracy thing is when you allow another country like Russia to come in and put their hands on the scale of an election that's going on in the United States. They messed around and they let this boy from Israel do it just recently.
Yeah.
They let him come in and speak. They let him come in there and speak.
At the UN.
But
And other things.
but that was the whole point. But that was one of the things. But they're not. But he's an ally.
Nothing happened with it.
But he's an ally. I'm talking about an enemy. I'm talking about the #1 enemy that we can physically have for the last 200 years has been Russia. And if they allow this fool, Putin, to put his hands on the scale here and find out that Trump had anything to do with it, he ain't gonna just be indicted on it. They gonna put him in front of a firing squad and blow his fucking head off. I'm gonna be the first one pulling the trigger. And I'm gonna pray to God, I'm gonna pray to Allah, I'm gonna pray to everybody I gotta pray to. Please let this bullet hit this fool right in his forehead. And I'm gonna make sure I'm aiming at that's just the way I feel. He reminds me of an uncle. And the only reason I say that is because I had an uncle that sounds just like Trump. He was a type of individual that says everything off the top of his head. He was as smooth as silk. He had everything he wanted to have. But he convinced individuals around him to be as deceitful, to be as crazy as he possibly can. Now, don't get me wrong. I know Hillary's character. You can tell Hillary's character. But Hillary is just like any other women. Hillary is just like any other women. She could be president, but she still could be somewhat controlled. You ain't gonna be able to control Trump.
See, it depends on what level you look at it. The fact that you can be controlled, now you're gonna ask who's doing the controlling.
Well, I'm saying the church.
If you know those puppet masters that's been doing the controlling since the inception of this whole shit, you know it's gonna
Who is it? Well, now we go with the Luminaries. Come on, now you go. I know where you're going. I already know where you're going. I know where you're going.
You take away.
You're talking about all the connections between Obama being the president, being the cousin of Bush. Bush and being the cousin of Donald Trump and all this other stuff. I get it. I get it.
That's not even where I was going.
I know, but I want to take it there, though. I want to take it there. I know
that's not what I'm talking about.
Look, I talk to a lot of Republicans. I got one of my Daryl guys. He's the biggest militant you ever seen in your life. Biggest Republican you ever seen. He's the black Republican. He's proud of it. He'll be the first one to tell you, man, fuck these monkeys. Fuck these black motherfuckers. I don't care nothing about them. These monkeys, they all should be took and shot and hung up. That's the way he talk. But his whole theory is, yeah, but that's Donald Trump. That's what I'm saying. That's Donald Trump. Donald Trump is the same as this guy here. He's just saying it in a different way. It means the same. Fuck all these monkeys. Fuck a black motherfucker. Did you see it? Fuck a black, fuck a red, fuck a blue. It's all about white. When it's like that, he needs to be shot in his head. He needs to be like the most mangy dog he is, took out in the middle of the street, not only shot his head, but run him over about 25 times, and back up over his ass. And run him and back up. Just keep going. And after you put 3 bullets in his head.
Tell us how you really feel.
Well, I'm just telling you about Trump. And that's the way I feel.
Okay.
I do not like...
You sound more personally invested because it's not so much about Trump, it's about your uncle. You see him...
I do racist.
No, you want to take it out.
No, but I do racist people. I do racist things. What I understand is when you look at that boy Emmett Till sitting up in this casket.
Yeah, I've seen that.
When you see Emmett Till sitting his head this big, and you sit up and think about the fight and the cause that all these individuals have died for. And make well, we can sit up here now and be entrepreneurs and do what we want to do. This stuff didn't never happen. This stuff would have never happened if certain individuals didn't get their head knocked in or been bleeding or been shot or been killed or been something. Right. That's what gets me. And Trump sounds like the same individual that physically right now would see an Emmett Till and kill Emmett Till. When he started, them black boys started getting shot, what did he say? He don't give a fuck about us. At least I can say him
like you said, he's all about self.
But
he ain't gonna speak on.
Well, that's why I feel the way I feel about him.
That's a political thing to do.
No, but that's the way it has nothing to do with political. That's the way he think.
In the end, this is what it's gonna come down to. It's gonna be Hillary because it was always designed to be. But watch what we get into when she get in.
Well, hell, it ain't gonna be no more what we hear now. I'm hoping that.
Oh no.
Look, the world is already going in a different direction, bro. The world is already like almost there. You know, God is almost ready to make that return anyway. I already ain't there. If we can't see that,
but watch some of the things that happen, and you'll be able to see the signature of who initiated certain things.
Well,
she's gonna have a lot to do with implementing
things
that we wouldn't have done.
Well, I mean, she was. So you saying when Russia, when they find out that Russia is doing something against the grain, and she say, "Oh, you better back up before I put a bullet in your head," and Russia said, "Oh, you gonna put a bullet." But see, what you don't understand is all these little countries that you talking about, even Russia with all this stuff, they don't have that kind of power. You know, if you look at around the world, this is the best thing about Obama. People talk to the black and blue in the state. Look at around the world, look at all these economies that's out there. Every one of them is suffering and fucked up. We're not fucked up. They keep talking about what's here and what's not here. Look at what's going on here, man. The kind of gradually change that we've had over the last 8 years. We're the only country that's still sustaining everything. We can push a button. We can say right now, let's stop Russia from let's stop their currency from growing. And what happens? Their currency stopped growing. They had some serious shit over there, so of course.
Sanctions, but you can't stop them.
Well, they did it. Only one that's benefiting over there is Putin. That country.
You can't stop Putin.
I'm saying, but it ain't about stop Putin. All those people over in that country are suffering so bad right now. Oh, they suffering bad. The only ones that's not suffering. You talking about? That's why you don't see all the rioting and stuff in the street. That's why you don't see all the killing and the locking up. They ain't gonna show you that because their media's on lockdown. They can't show you that. But their country is so screwed up right now that the only ones that are getting money is the ones at the top. Now here, you can say that, but are you getting some money? All right. I mean, if he was in Russia, this wouldn't be happening.
Right.
I'm just being real. I know that. If you was in Russia, you can be in China. This wouldn't be happening. They control those individuals here. Here's the land of the free, man. You can be and do whatever you want to do. There's no limit to how much money you can make if that's what you want to do. You can't do that in all those other places. You better know somebody to be able to get that money, or you better be born into it, and you better be graceful enough to these individuals so they can let you keep it. That's what they're doing now. Look at all that chaos every place else. That stuff ain't here. We got a little chaos going on where the police are shooting and the black folks are shooting, but that's, hell, they've been doing that for 100 years.
Right.
They've been hanging us. They've been literally hanging us from trees. I mean, so, you know, what they can throw at us right now don't mean nothing, but if we get Trump in the office, man, we might as well just, I mean, the world is almost close to where it needs to be, so all I can tell you to do is make peace with God. You better hurry up and try to get someplace and talk to your God and get as close to him as possible, so when this stuff happens, you know which side of the fence you're on. But if you're on the wrong side of the fence, that same thing that we're going through right now, you'll be going through eternity. But if you're on that right side of the fence, oh my God, you're going to see so much beautiful stuff that you can get. You know, one thing I learned a long time ago, and I heard an individual in church, and the person, and I think about my mama now, and I think about my mama, because my mama believed so much in the Lord, that I knew when she had a chance to get a glimpse of heaven, there wasn't no coming back here. Why would she want to? I mean, I know she's going to miss all of us, all this family and all that, but when God shows you what's on the other side for you, oh, it's on, bro. So as much as I can tell you, brother, just get close to God. I don't care about Putin. I don't care about Trump. I don't care about Hillary Clinton. Make your peace with God. And believe me, God gonna take care of the rest. If he wants Trump in there, Trump gonna be in there. He already knows that. He already knows who's gonna be there. He already knows everything that's gonna happen. It's already been predetermined. He's the only one that knows. So when we start talking about all the things that's gonna go on around us, if God don't want the devil to win, the devil is not gonna win. If he wants the devil to win, it's going to be a temporary victory.
It's a lot.
Yeah, just put it on the seat, my seat.
It's just going to be a temporary victory. That's all.
All right, baby, we got to run.
You safe?
All right, man.
Have you talked to country today?
Here, I mean, go to the left. My bad. It's them.
Derek?
No, I see him.
Yeah, you talked to Derek? I mean,
Oh, yeah.
Jason. I'm on my way to see Jason right now.
okay, you finna go. Okay. Yeah, grab it up. You can grab it. You got to meet him on the east side, west side?
Rick Rose.
Oh, okay. How's about?